Yo guys, what's going on? Acez here today with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the future of Warzone. What's going to happen once Cold War comes out? Well, I have a couple theories. Now, I don't know what's confirmed yet and what's not. This is all my thoughts and all my theories. So, with that being said, I'm going off only the information I've heard and been told from trailers or multiplayer reveals, etc. So I don't know a whole bunch. I don't know everything that's been said. So some things might be confirmed, some might be debunked, whatever. I'm just going to give you my take on everything and how the future of Warzone is going to look once we enter Black Ops Cold War. So a lot of people in my item shop's been asking me, Ace, how are these things going to carry over? How is this going to work when we are only getting these items in Warzone, but we're not getting them in Cold War multiplayer? Well, here's what's going to happen, and it's probably going to be definitely a little bit of a challenge for the studios to work together and integrate some things, but this is the way that I have seen it in my head personally, how I visualize this whole entire thing happening. When you load up Warzone in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, it will still have the same similar menu feel. You'll see Warzone there, you click on it, and you're going to load into Warzone. It's going to be something very similar to how the Battlefield series now has their older games. Battlefield 4, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 5, and Battlefield 1 all are in an integrated menu. You can switch between the games with one menu. If Battlefield can do it, I'm sure Call of Duty can do it. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing slightly here. Not exactly the same, but very, very similar. What's going to happen is you're going to be playing no matter what game you're on, whether you're on Modern Warfare, whether you're in the Warzone app itself, or if you're in Cold War, no matter what, you're going to be loading into a Modern Warfare core game. So what I mean by that is already we see it. Warzone has its own app, but if you're playing Modern Warfare, you can still load Warzone. So there's two different apps you can load into the same lobbies with. Therefore, it should be able to happen the same way with Cold War. Cold War can load up Warzone and you're playing with people that are playing the free-to-play Warzone app. It's essentially like Fortnite, and it's going to receive a big update and it's going to change the map. Now, whether we get two different maps is a little bit of a different story. I would assume they would add a map for Cold War and keep the old-fashioned Verdansk, because obviously a lot of people aren't going to like change, but there's the all possibility that we get a fully revamped Verdansk just in a Cold War setting. But, like I said, I kind of doubt that, since we're seeing some stuff about subways coming out for Season 6. And right around that Season 6 time is going to be starting to prepare for Cold War, so we'll see what happens there. But how is this stuff going to carry over? Well, as I started to say, you're going to be playing the core game as Modern Warfare. The game has been built on the mechanics in Warzone that everybody likes, therefore it's going to stay that way. So even when Cold War comes out, the next Black Ops game or the next Modern Warfare game, if they continue the revamp or whatever they do, you're still going to be playing the core Warzone Modern Warfare. You're always, for example, going to have double sprint. In Black Ops Cold War, there's no double sprint. There is a momentum sprint and then a pretty insane slide in it, which I've heard they're fixing, which is great. But you're going to have double sprint the whole entire time. So that basically leads me to believe it's going to be the Modern Warfare core mechanics of the game, no matter when you're playing it, whether it's 3 years in the future or in a couple months. So that is how everything's going to carry over. Now, how are the Cold War weapons going to be integrated into Warzone? How's that going to work? Well, the core game weapons for Cold War are going to be added into Modern Warfare or just added into Warzone. We've seen similar things with COD Mobile. COD Mobile is integrating things from all Call of Duties. They just added the Mara skin. They just added the Mace skin. They add a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different games and integrate it into one game. They're going to do the same thing with Warzone, most likely. You will probably see every single base weapon in some way come into Warzone in some shape or way. Now, this is where I think having a specific map for Cold War and having a specific map for Verdansk is going to work the best, because in Verdansk you have all of the Modern Warfare weaponry and any new DLC stuff they continue to add. They want Warzone to have a nice, healthy life, so it depends on how much the different studios are going to combine efforts and get more content. If we have two different maps, two different studios working at the same time, more content for me to create, more content for you guys to enjoy, the whole shebang, everything's great. But if they keep the 2-map way, that way everything from Cold War can be integrated on one map, and everything from Modern Warfare can be integrated on Verdansk. So with that being said, you can switch between maps, whatever you're feeling. You would have different weapons to play with, different kind of vehicles. Let's say in the Cold War map, you have these snowmobiles, and you stick to Verdansk, and you got the quad bikes. It would be a nice little change and a good option to have another map to play on. So that's kind of my thoughts there. But the main thing is, how is this stuff going to travel over? That is how. Because you're still going to be playing in, quote, Modern Warfare. Because Warzone is integrated in Modern Warfare. They're going to be integrating Cold War into Warzone. They're both integrated into this centralized app. And that's what they said about Warzone when it first came out. They want it to be centralized with all the Call of Duty so they all intertwine and interlink. And the way they're doing it, I see how they're setting it up now. It took me a little bit, but what's going to be happening is every COD for the next maybe 5 years is going to have some sort of Warzone in their menu screen that's going to redirect basically like you're playing on that app, but you can launch it from that game. It's going to be integrated into the game. If you look at Black Ops Cold War in their official trailers when it first dropped, it said campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. Warzone wasn't even mentioned because Warzone is being integrated into the game. It's not being quote-unquote developed already because it's already done. So that's pretty much in my theory, in my head, how this future of Warzone stuff's going to go. All your customizable stuff is going to transfer over into Warzone and Cold War because you're still playing Warzone. It hasn't gone anywhere. And all the stuff you then buy in Cold War should, in theory, still work in Warzone and vice versa. Everything in multiplayer is going to be separate because they are separate games in the core mechanics for multiplayer. Like I said, nothing in Warzone is changing movement-wise. All the core mechanics are still going to be Modern Warfare. So in a sense, you're going to be playing Year 2 of Modern Warfare and Year 1 of Cold War at the exact same time. So guys, that is how Warzone is going to work in 2021, I guess would be the correct date. We're going to have a couple months to play in 2020, but that is the future of Warzone. Let me know what you think. Everything's subject to change, obviously, and that's just my best take on it, so let me know what you thought in the comments. Make sure you're dropping a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We are super close to 15K. We almost hit it last night, then we lost a couple subs, and I was super unhappy. So make sure you smack that subscribe button and the like button. Just smack the crap out of them both, man. Do me that favor. Check out the sponsors and equipment description below. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm out.